And word inventions, semi-unlimited time frame, invention, self-invention. Number one on the list, semi-unlimited time limit. Number two, semi-open weight class. Second, self-invention. Number three, semi-sparring. Number four, HWMA, historical Western martial arts. Number five is John Jitsu, just a personal, a bit like JKD, just a personal mindset of not so much a system, not a martial system, but more a mindset. Like throwing shoes and sparring, or mindset, not so much a system, but that kind of concept. So more like a mental martial art than a physical one. So John Jitsu. So one was semi-unlimited time limit, semi-open weight class, semi-sparring, HWMA, and I've forgotten system, psychologically, or a mental martial art. Yeah. So there's a 5 self-inventions, but there's more, but we'll keep to those 5. So that's 5. 5 bullet points, 5 minutes. Or more, it might run over and it very might, but those are 5 self-inventions. It can be applied to different systems, Kali, WMA, etc., etc. Yeah. The other is Eastern versus Western philosophy, and third position philosophy, which is for another vlog because it takes a while. What else? Talking about ND and A word, I suppose. What else? Having a regular time for the streams, moderating all that stuff that normal people have that I have no clue about. I mean, I could answer questions about autism and ND. I don't mind. But I don't know how all that moderator and normal people stuff works. I don't know. Really don't know. But I'll have a go. Yeah. What else? ND martial arts as well, that might be one. Yeah. ND versus NT martial arts stuff, something like that. But basically about infrastructure again, just applied to a smaller setting rather than general, out to wider culture in general. It's in an MA setting, martial art, kind of stuff. Same principle apply. It's just a microcosm. As above, so below, or as below, so above. Because it can be said in that direction also. Yeah. Yeah. So that was it really for this thing. It was just 5 self-inventions that can be applied to different systems that I independently invented. Yeah. that's for that brief stream, whatever. Yeah. As for Patreon and donations, not a clue, but again, I'm willing to have a go. Staff that have a go, kind of don't have a huge amount on the variety side in regards to those things, to those spheres, so I'll just have to get on with it in that direction. So yeah. 5 mentions, 5 minutes or more. Probably a bit more. Philosophy is good though, and the prefix is interesting. So could very possibly be the same in the East, and it probably very probably is. So when you say the word by itself in the West, and as I say, it could be any country in the world, but I only know about the West because I've only ever been within the West, so that I can only speak about what I know really on that scale. So if the word philosophy is said by itself, what I would call solo philosophy, then the invisible prefix is Western if you're in the West. So if someone says philosophy to you, in general, 99.9% of cases, if someone says philosophy, they mean Western philosophy, and there's an invisible bracket. And if someone says psychology, and this applies to loads of things, to a degree it applies to the word sword, to a degree, and I've done a video on Western iconography to do with those things and how people don't notice it because it's not quote unquote exotic enough for people to notice. But invisible prefixes are definitely a thing. If someone says philosophy by itself, the word, it means Western philosophy if you're in the West. And if they say psychology, the word by itself, they mean Western psychology. And if they say a bunch of words that I can't even think of right now, but I will one day when my head's more thinking. Invisible prefixes. And I've only got a couple of minutes left, so this is important. Direction control, Western direction control. For example, do you know yourself? The question's never asked. Okay, take another one. What is your name? The question's never asked. What isn't your name? Who are you? Right? This is in Western direction control, right? Especially English in America, England and American, very specific, but the West in general, very much Western. Western direction control. Who are you? It's never who aren't you. Why? Question mark. It's never why not. Very rarely, right? Or another example of Western direction control, which is a very sort of neurotic bias, illogical, is why, for example, quote unquote, say it's a storybook, the storyline might say, why would they do that? Right, again, Western direction control. It's very rare, and then it's met with, in that storybook context, it's met with resistance. So it's like, why would they do that? But if another character was to reply, why wouldn't they do that? They're met with all sorts of, oh, you must be all these names, because you're not allowed to go against the direction control. The direction has to be a biased sort of neurotic direction in the forwards direction because of personal bias, which is illogical and then has to be applied to everything very aggressively. So Western direction control. has a bias against the reverse direction, but also possibly the neutral, the center. So if you had like left, right, center on a compass, say east, west, sorry, or whatever, and center. Yeah, so anything that isn't the forwards direction has this western direction bias, very aggressively applied to it in a very sort of angry manner. It's uh, psychologically speaking. So that's western direction control. It's always in the linear direction, never reverse, It's always, again, why, but not why not. Why would they do that? If you're in a storybook, never why wouldn't they do that. Who are you? Never who aren't you. What is your name? Never what isn't your name. You see, no one ever asks what isn't your name. Yeah. So that's it probably. Um, mm, I think I'll have to put it upstairs.